Is the world real or unreal should not be asked on an intellectual level. That will just lead to a lot of philosophy with no final answer or beliefs. Your own life, what is real about my life ultimately? Is there anything real about my life? Or what do I know for sure? Descartes, the philosopher, he asked that question. What is it that I can know for sure? He never stopped thinking, and so he thought it's thinking, that I'm always thinking. But if he had gone a step deeper, he would have realized the sense of beingness or presence that is deeper than thinking. The question that you are is beyond doubt. You can doubt anything, but you cannot doubt that you are. It's life itself. I don't know what I am, the form may be short-lived, but the fact that there is something here that knows that the form is short-lived, there's no doubt that that has reality. There is something in you that is. There's no doubt about that. I am, that I know. What I am, I don't know. I appear as a body for a while, and perhaps I appear as a flower, I appear as whatever form. Perhaps the I am is in every form. What I am is the one I am. That thing that is beyond doubt, that my own being, the beingness that is here, of course it is. It's the life that I am is beyond doubt. And could that be the same life and the same being and the same I am that is in every form of life? The formless essence of all life. And so if you can be aware that you are aware that you are, then that's enough. Aware of being, of presence. Presence being self-aware through you. You are it. And then what you are is the temporary roles that you, disguises that you go into. I'm a successful businessman for a while, until you hit the ground, or the stock market collapses. Then the psychological entity hits bottom before the physical entity hits the bottom. I'm a failed writer, whatever, another concept in the head. I'm somebody who's missed out on life. Life passed me by. Where is life? Here, now. It passed me by, it's long since gone. It didn't give me what I needed. So stepping out of the story, the structural aspect of your form life, life in form, as much as possible, then you access something that is deeper than past and future, than the form, than that which dies, yourself. And the temptation of the world is, it pretends that that's all that matters. Matter is all that matters. This is important. Thought. So it's a continuous, for a while, waking up out of being totally identified with the structural aspect of your life, the story of me, where it's coming from and where it's going, and giving an ultimate importance to that. Relative importance, yes, you do what you can, now, can only do it now, can only do at this moment what I can do at this moment, can't go beyond that. Past and future lose their heaviness. And the new comes in, something that is fresh and new is always present. You remain fresh and new, like a day that's just like today, this morning. Past. Absolute presence. And if you carry past into that perception, it becomes obscured. It even disappears. And the morning is no longer fresh, and you are no longer fresh and alive. And the longer you live identified with form and with your story, the more burdensome it gets, and the world feels stale and old and weary. Expressed in a character, I believe, in Shakespeare, maybe it's Hamlet who is considering killing himself. How weary, stale, and unprofitable seem to me all the uses of this world. Weary, stale, like bread that has become stale. Weary, stale, and unprofitable, meaning pointless, useless. That's how it becomes. You don't want to end up there. And part of that is not reducing the magnificence of this moment, the depth and the aliveness of this moment, that's all you ever have, to a means to an end, which is the story. Make it just into a stepping stone so that I can reach the next chapter, the next paragraph, in the cheap fiction of my story, of me. Absurd. So that simple thing. Bring the alertness, wake up, become aware of sense perceptions, and that which underlies every sense perception, yourself, the perceiver, the perceiving consciousness, the attention, in which there's no tension. And sensing the inner body, the aliveness that is there. Becoming alert to this moment. It's no longer a means to an end. It has a depth to it that is sufficient unto itself. And you to know that, you don't need to sit still. You may be sitting still, but it's not necessary to sit still. You can be involved in movement and be fully present in the movement of your life. Fast movement, slow movement. Be fully present in the movement. Enjoy the energy movement of this and be there also as the witness of it, and yet you are doing what you have to do. No, you're not in a hurry. This is why you can do something fast if you have to. You may be doing less things if you're no longer living in the mad hyperactivity of the human mind. Perhaps there are fewer things that you need to do really fast, but occasionally it is called for. You may have to move fast, and you're totally present in the movement, enjoying that without needing to arrive at the next moment. This moment is good enough. I'm running to catch the train. It's good. It feels good. And then you miss it. Oh. At least you enjoyed yourself. That's why I have in Zen this another famous saying, hurry slowly. Hurry is maybe fast on the external. Slow means the stillness remains inside, even though you're fast on the external. So if you have to, you can be very fast. You look at martial arts, they can be, if they have to be fast, they're very fast. Without losing the rootedness in being. So it doesn't pull you out of being. And then when you sit quietly in your room, the dynamic aspect of being remains. The stillness is also dynamic in you, which means you don't go to sleep. When you sit quietly in your room, the stillness remains vibrantly alive. So in the stillness there is a vibrancy, and in the external activity there's also a stillness. So you have the two polarities. Or as I sometimes call it, Buddha and Clint Eastwood character. And the present moment, just all that would be enough. Not remembering it's not a means to an end. Give it fullest attention and enjoy it. Enjoy the doing. You can't enjoy the doing if the next moment is more important than this. Enjoy whatever it is that is required of you at this moment. The aliveness of it. The external is allowed deeply, it's because it is, and then you go deeper than the form. So even if on the external it looks unpleasant, I'm wet and cold and it's windy and I want to get home. Okay, and then you bring a yes to it. As we talked yesterday, you become a duck or wet poodle or whatever it is. And the wet poodle is not complaining. He's just wet, and then he shakes and nobody says, oh, it's cold and wet. There's no judging entity there. It is as it is, says the dog, if he could speak. Be present in every movement. You can live like that. And just to try a slow movement and be present is a beautiful thing to do, just because it's not a means to an end. When this arm is here, it's not trying to get there. It's just here, and it's just here, and just here, and just here, and just here, and just here, here, here. Not I'm trying to get there. I'm here. Beautiful. So you can do that either by practicing Tai Chi or Kim's movement practice called Kim Fu Chi. Which a few years ago I saw her performing spontaneously for the first time at a retreat. And I said, what is happening? It's simply presence expressing itself as joyful movement. and there was a slow kind of dance, and I saw her doing it, and I said, where does that come from? It came out of presence, the joyful expression of presence. And in that moment I thought, maybe what I'm witnessing is the early origin of Tai Chi. Perhaps that's how it started, with someone allowing him or herself to express spontaneously the state of presence in movement. Some people believe that Tai Chi originated when people observed the movement of animals and tried to imitate that. But I believe it was a spontaneous expression of presence. Although, of course, if you watch animals, you see a certain similarity between that being present in every movement and, for example, the movements of a cat walking. Amazing to watch that. That is Tai Chi too. They are not in a hurry, just present. They just watch, and when they watch, they just watch. They're not thinking about what's going on there. They know what's going on without having to conceptualize it, and then movement continues. And suddenly there's an energy built up, and they jump. You could never think that a thing could jump that high. It's almost magic. And then they're still again. You could spend hours watching. So if you practice movement, it's a beautiful way of learning to be, not to make this moment into a means to an end. Just a simple movement. Because in the ordinary consciousness, every movement, through it you want to get somewhere. That's more important. So just, it could be spontaneous, it could be a sequence that you follow, but the important thing is, there's presence at every step. And if you are disabled and can't move very well, it would be enough to move your hands. Dance with your hands. And you can make some activity into a movement that is present. A dance. Wiping a table. Cleaning your shoes, doing this or that, putting on a shirt. And whenever that happens, there's a gap in the continuity between past and future in your life. There is a gap in your life, in the story of me, of presence, a gap of presence. And the more gaps of presence you have, the more alive you are. Does the story suffer? Can you no longer continue writing that fiction of me? No, you can. But it'll become literature. Your life from pure cheap fiction, soap opera. That's of course why people love watching on TV the so-called soap operas, because it's a reflection of their own life. Oh, that's good, they all live like that. And then your life assumes a depth, and the outcome doesn't matter anymore. It's just like the true work of literature. It's peripheral. The outcome is on the periphery of your life. Am I going to make it or not? Well, you may make it for a while, and then you hit bottom. So when you're sitting on the bus traveling towards the next thing in the story of me, the next thing becomes a little less important as you feel the aliveness of the present moment, even as you are sitting on the bus. Then the moment of arriving at the station is not that important. Still feels the same, because it's still now. And then you arrive at the station. And then you check inside, is it still now? You have to... You never know, it might be in the next moment. Is this still the same now? Yeah, it is. The form has changed, but it's the same now. And then wherever you go, you have to check occasionally. Is it still now? Yeah, it is. Because the mind may try to convince you that it's not now. So you remain alive. Not only remain alive, you deepen the being. There's depth to who you are. Regardless of the form of your story, because if everybody's, let's say, a walking work of fiction, similar, the life story of each person is different. One could write a book about each of you. You could write your own book. As it unfolds, every day a new chapter. Wait for the next installment. That suddenly has far greater depth to it, and just as in great literature, what happens to you or what does not happen to you as the story unfolds is secondary. The now becomes primary, the depth of now. And then the external form of your life, of course, at times you add things to your life, things come to you, it seems to go very well, and then something happens and there comes a period of loss or